It's Mark from Core Focus. It's 6 a.m. on a Monday. It's my last day of the fundraising. And yeah, and I'm just, it's the last stretch. I'm tired. Not hungry, surprisingly. I've been pretty hungry these past weeks because of the, my increased metabolism and increased physical activity. So usually when I start off, I make sure, it's the mental game. I always tell myself, one grind at a time. I don't try to think about the whole grouse grind. I always try to focus on the one I'm trying to finish. Also, I make sure that I get, lots of sleep. Try for 8, but usually it's like 6 hours. But usually that's usually pretty good for me. I also make sure I eat breakfast. Nutrition is probably the most important thing that I feel that's helped me get through this whole experience. So food-wise, initially I was eating healthy, but then I realized since I was burning so much calories, so every time you do the grouse grind, you burn about 800 calories. So I had to refill those calories that I'm expending, right? So I found that I had to eat a lot of I guess you could say unhealthy foods to use as my energy source for the 6 grouse grinds that I'm going to do today to complete the 51. All right, so I'm going to stretch. So usually every time I go up, I really hate it when it burns my back thigh, but I gotta stretch it out. It's so tight there. Good. All right, so hamstrings, calf muscles are usually tight for me. All right. So while I'm stretching, I just want to, just in case you guys didn't know why I'm doing this, just to reiterate, I'm sure most people know. So I'm doing this to dedicate this to my mom, who passed away a year and a half ago at 51, and also to raise awareness for ovarian cancer and also raise money for ovarian cancer research. Right? It was something I felt strongly about and I needed to do, and then doing all these grouse grinds, and it's really been just been really therapeutic and just helped me deal with all this stuff, and I just feel like it's good for the soul and just a lot of just a lot of healing and stuff. And I feel like when I do the grouse grind, I feel like my mom's there with me and I can talk to her, and so I mean, she wasn't that fast, she was actually pretty slow, but I'm talking to her from behind me. And I guess one thing that I really want to encourage you guys is whatever it is that you want to do, for a good cause. If it's something you're passionate about, my advice is just to do it. Don't worry about the logistics. You'll figure it out as you go along, just like how I did. I knew I wanted to do something, special for my mom, something 51 times, and I did it and I figured it out. And most of you are thinking like, well, you did 51 times, but you're athletic. But really, I've been injured for a while. My knee, my hip, and and I had to overcome that. And I just got to find a way. And for me, it was by fixing my motor pattern, and it fixed it, right? And then I guess in the long run, after today, even for next year, I want to encourage you guys to join me. I mean, it doesn't have to be for the cause I'm doing, but hey, if you want to grind away at whatever the cause is, towards that good cause, I encourage you just to join me, and I promise that I'll help you guys out with You know, nutrition, like I was talking about earlier when I was driving, nutrition, stretching, and even just the mental mindset. You know, what you know, the thing that you got to think about every time you do it, and yeah, and just help you guys focus and reach your goal. I mean, it doesn't have to be 51. It can be 12. It can be 11. Whatever that number is for you. You know, that's you know, it's really up to you, and you know, as long as it comes from here, you know, that's what it's all about, right? But the important thing is, you know, we're, you know, doing something together as a group, and you know, something I think it's, you know, my vision is, you know, a lot of more people, you know, maybe 5, maybe 10, but you know, having, you know, doing something in a group is, you know, a lot more powerful, and it really makes a statement, and obviously you raise more money towards whatever cause you're trying to raise money for. So just a quick intro about Grass Grind. You burn about 800 calories every time you do it. It's composed. It's divided into 4 quarters. So the first quarter is always the toughest. I feel really steep, a lot of tall steps. After that, it's pretty much the way I think about it anyway. It's a lot easier. Like, it's shorter, but steeper, but definitely shorter. So that, in my mind, helps me quite a bit. And then for each quarter, I usually have a marker. So I always have something where if I reach that spot, I'm close to that quarter. So I always put that in the back of my mind. So that really helps me every time I feel tired or exhausted. I just keep going. It helps me keep going, and it helps if you don't look up. Don't look up. Look at where you're stepping, because if you look up, then it's like you're gonna get overwhelmed. But really, just look down. Look at where you're stepping. You know, you don't want to sprain your ankle or anything, right? So yeah, just it's a really fun. It's about I believe almost 3 kilometers. It's equivalent to about a 10K. So if you think about your 10K time, I heard this is what a fellow multi-grinder told me. If you take your 10K time, that is your Grass Grind time. So if you run 10K for an hour, theoretically your Grass Grind time should be around an hour. Okay? Anyway, so here I go.